Ever wondered what is the dirtiest city in Zimbabwe? Well, you're correct if you said Harare.
But filth has remained part of the city's architecture, and Harare is leading the way.
Harare has transformed from being the sunshine city to the trash capital, but it wasn't always like this. Back then, clean streets, functional waste systems, and order. Waste collection was consistent and public spaces were maintained. But over the years, things changed. Today, we'll find out, because I'm investigating a portion of the city's areas with the most garbage, only to answer these questions. Are there no trash cans in Harare? And is the garbage really bad in the city? As I progressed into the heart of the city, I noticed that bins were becoming scarce and I could see trash on the pathways. And this leads to the question, are there no bins in Harare? In some areas, garbage can go for weeks without collection, so what do people do? They dump. Open spaces become landfills, drainage systems gets blocked, but here's the uncomfortable truth. Even in places where bins exist, people still litter, and this brings to another question, is this really a system failure or something else? Because this is no longer about the council or the government, this is about the people. People treat public places like dumping areas. A person needs a sign written "Do not litter" in order to throw litter in the bin. Why can't we just put that short phrase into our medulla oblongata? You see some people drinking a can of drink and finish it, look around and drop it on the ground. Not because there is no bin, but simply they don't care. That same person will go home and keep their house spotless. So what's the difference? Ownership? We respect what we own and we destroy what we share. We share the city and yet we do not take the responsibility of cleaning it. Just as I arrived in the city's CBD, I was immediately welcomed by the sign, "Place litter in the bin," and that gave me a very interesting question. Do we really need signs in order to put litter in the bin? Well, in Rwanda, the cleanest country in Africa, are strict laws and the National Cleanup Day. And in the Netherlands, they just follow the culture of responsibility. And in Singapore, there are heavy fines for littering. In Harare, you might get a stay or nothing at all, and that's the difference. Discipline, standards, and the mindset. We have normalized debt, we have normalized disorder, and worst of all, we have stopped being ashamed of it. In 2018, the National Cleanup Campaign was launched with the mandates that the first Friday of every month, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. is dedicated to cleaning the surroundings. And this campaign has contributed a lot to sanity and the sustainable environment among citizens. But in my opinion, this should be done more than once a month to foster a more cleaner, safer and sustainable environment. Harare has over 1.5 million people with over 2,000 illegal dumpsters created, and the waste collection hasn't been consistent. Compared to Bulawayo, which is around 700,000 people, the waste collection is far more consistent, and the systems, while not that perfect, it actually functions. In fact, reports have shown that Bulawayo has over 200 plus illegal dumping sites across high-density suburbs like the Makokoba, Kodri Park, and the Njube. So does it mean more people equals more garbage? Well, it seems like it. As I went deep into the CBD, I could actually see why the city was declared the state of disaster in Harare's waste management system. According to various articles, only around 47 waste collection vehicles serve the entire city, covering 46 wards plus the CBD plus the informal settlements. This is no longer about appearance, it's about health. Waste becomes the breeding ground for cholera, typhoid, and diarrhea, and in some recent years, this has been a great risk. In some areas like Chitungwisa, waste is dumped less than 3 meters away from homes, and people are eventually starting to form a pathway in the trash. And streets become unofficial dump sites, residents resort to night dumping, and this has become a routine. At this point, it seems like Harare has failed to keep up with the waste generation growth. Only about 30% of the waste is properly collected, and around 70% is dumped illegally or unmanaged. To bring light to this crisis, the emergency intervention in 2023 takeover, the government gave EMA funds to step in and planned to hire private contractors to assist. Multi-stakeholder partnerships in 2026. EMA is working with the city of Harare, Geo-Pomona Waste Management, joint roadmap to fight illegal dumping. So what's the excuse here? Because at this point, it's not about the infrastructure, it's about the behavior, it's about the standards, and it's about what people are willing to tolerate. Hopefully, this brings light and changes your mindsets towards the environment in the city of Harare. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section what you think.